Alright guys, how's she going today? So, yeah. So, this is what I like to see. Right here. See all that? See that? All that blue stuff? Yeah. And maybe you can make out the damn moon even. Right? I think that's it right there. Here. I really don't see the moon too much during the day. I mean, I guess I kind of do, but I don't look up much either, so. But this is going to end tomorrow. Well, tonight, I think. Tomorrow it's going to be cloudy, but they're saying a high of 42 above Fahrenheit, whatever that would be for you Canadian people. Because I don't know my Celsius very well, but I know them somewhat. But if you're Canadian, you know what the hell I'm talking about. So, but yeah, today it's, well, without the wind, there's a slight breeze going on, but without the wind, it'd be 36 out. So things are melting a little bit, and, but with the wind, I think it's like 24. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's actually fairly nice out. So, I'm still overdressed, but this comes natural to me now because I'm so used to putting them on because of the cold. But so tomorrow is supposed to be apparently 42, so even warmer than today, but cloudy. So that probably explains why it's going to be a little bit warmer out. Because usually if it's cloudy out, then it's warmer. Glasses are kind of fogging up a little bit, but yeah. So So I figured I'd give starting the 1586 another chance before I decide to throw it in the trash. But I noticed, would have been yesterday, because I still had the covers on. I took the covers off now, but I had them on for a while, especially when we had that deep freeze still going on there a little bit. I took them off yesterday because even though it was warm out, not as warm as today, it was a little cooler yesterday, but it was, still warm out. But the engine block had little crystals on it, like almost like snow. So the block was still cold. And then I looked at the 400, and the 400 was perfectly clear. Well, it didn't have any crystals on it, snow, ice, whatever. I hear an airplane. Holy hell, they're way the hell up there. Hey, drop me some Canadian food. I want some Canadian food. I'm sick of this American shit. No? Well, that's too damn bad. I think they come out of Canada, because for how high they are, they must definitely come out of Canada, because there ain't no airports over here. Here in Minnesota. There's one over on the North Dakota side, small one, but I'm sure there's one over there in Canada somewhere close, but no, I don't see no packages falling out of the plane. I was hoping for some Canadian food, but you know how it is. So anyways, yeah, so I started so I plugged it in, 1586. I plugged it in anyway. I just figured, it probably would crank if you gave it a shot of ether, and it probably would fire. So I plugged it in for about 2 hours. Probably not really necessary, but I was doing other stuff, so it took me about 2 hours to finish stuff here at the house. So, so after that, I put the batteries in and attempted to start it. So what happened on the first crank? Well, the very first crank, it was a fail. It ran for about half a second and then shut off. So I figured, well, are we going to have this problem? Is this actually a pump problem? The fuel pump problem. I know somebody said that there was a screen in them that apparently I guess they can plug up over time. I don't know where the hell that would be at. I think he said, but you really shouldn't have to clean. If there is a screen in the pump, you really shouldn't have to clean it, because that's what the filters are for. The filters are supposed to clean the junk out. before it gets to the motor. So I don't know, but so on the first crank, it was a fail. The second crank, it ran for about maybe 2-3 seconds, and then conked out again. And then I fired it up a third time. It started running. It was running extremely rough, but then it as it warmed up and the fuel started flowing, it ran like $1 million after about 2 minutes of rough idling. So I think what happened, why it conked out, well, the first crank could have just been because maybe there was still some water in it. I don't know. Stand if I know. But I'm thinking what happened, why it was having a hard time starting right now, was because maybe there was still air in the system, because I imagine I didn't bleed all the air out. But that can just spray itself out and disappear. But after that, it ran. So as of right now, the 1586 is back up and running, but we'll see if it stays like that. These damn things are freaking fogging up. Well, that's why they're dirtier than hell. But so my uncle's going to attempt to start the 400 tomorrow. He wants to wait because it's going to be a little bit warmer tomorrow. And he's going to attempt to start his before he has to make a decision on taking the carburetor off. He says that would be the last thing he would have to do. Then if it doesn't run tomorrow, then yeah, the carburetor's going to have to come off. Because I know a YouTuber, somebody said that the carburetor, well, I know that Roosty 6 said that they can freeze up, which, yeah, anything can freeze up at minus 60. It ain't gonna fucking matter, But we've recently never really had an issue. Well, the 400, we've always had issues with that. I don't know why I'm saying that, because if it gets too cold out, the 400 won't start. But I've never had an issue with the 1586 never wanting to start it. It always started in the wintertime with, no problems. So I think what I'm going to do, I don't know how long those cardboard sides are going to last, because they're cardboard, and if they get wet, they're going to fall apart. So sometime this summer, probably end up being more into the fall, I'm going to have some sides made up out of some plywood. Get some plywood at the lumber yard, and I'll just paint that to keep the rain from rotting it, and that's about as good as it'll ever get. Or I'd have to maybe get some tarps or something. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. So as of right now, the 400 is running, and we had it running, I don't know, not very long, maybe close to an hour, if even that. I don't know, because it was running fine, and I figured, well, if there is water still in the system, going all the way to the pump, it would not have been running that good right out of the gate. Yeah, it started rough at first, but then it smoothed out and started running normally. So if there's water still in the system, which there could still be, but it's just the point that it ran perfectly fine, so it probably would start fine now. I think, I don't know, what I used to do is I used to start the thing monthly. At least once a month I'd start it. But this year I kind of went to every couple of months. And maybe that, I don't know, I'm just thinking maybe that's a bad idea, because at least if you start it once a month, the flow does attempt to move a little bit. Maybe it won't freeze as hard then. I don't know. I'm not an engine person, so I don't really know, but maybe that's why I never had an issue with it all the other years, is because all the other years I was starting it once a month. And then this year I just decided to, because, I knew it was going to start, and it was being fairly warm out there for a while, and figured, every couple of months would be fine. And then we got that cold spell, and then could have dicked it more. I don't know. But as of right now, it's running fine. So we'll see if it continues to run. If it, we'll see what happens. But if the 400 runs fine. You know, if it starts tomorrow just fine, then I don't know. It's not really going to matter a whole hell of a lot. But I'm still going to change those fuel filters out, just for the hell of it. I might as well get it done over with. Even though I wanted to wait until I did the oil change, but I got a feeling I'm going to probably end up changing them twice. I don't know, because I want everything done at the same time, and I don't want to have one thing off from the other. You know, I'm kind of picky with my maintenance. I like to do everything at once if I can, and then be good for the year. So, I don't know. But whatever, it doesn't really matter anyway, I guess. But, yeah, so it was running fine. And we decided to pull a couple of bales out of the stack. Well, they're not stacked, but I call it a stack anyway. But they're, you know, we wanted to get a couple of bales lined up. So in case we had to, you know, well, they are getting low on hay, but we think that should last them at least until tomorrow. I know they're eating that bale down pretty good though, so I don't know. It must be a good bale, but we decided anyway, just in case if something should go wrong again, because we did run out of hay in that ring a few days ago, so we ended up pulling a bale out there with the pickup, because that's the only thing that will start. It seems like gas things usually start okay in the winter, but I don't know, the 400 is gas, so why that never started, I don't know. But the pickup started, no problem, and of course you had to have it plugged in for a couple of hours, but it still started. And he pulled the bale out with that, because that pickup's got new tires on it, and they actually grip a lot better than the old ones, so he was able to pull it out actually okay, which is actually kind of shocking, because I don't know why. My tractor weighs 10 times more than what that pickup does. And I actually have lugs, you know, whereas a pickup doesn't. It just has, I mean, they're a little more grippier than, I guess, than a bald tire, you know. So, but we decided to pull a couple of bales out, get them ready. So, you know, we like to kind of keep ahead of that a little bit. Just so if we do need to pull a bale out, you know, then it's just a boom, boom, and go. We don't have to pull it out of the stack and then readjust it. And, you know, we can just hook it up and go. We get them lined up and then get them ready to go out the gate. So, those two bales that I pulled with the tractor, the bales, they were obviously froze to the ground, but my tractor wouldn't pull them out. Like, well, I was in low range, because, you know, I always do low range when things are cold until they warm up some, then it's all right. But so I'm sitting here, I'm on low, and of course there's no diff lock on these tractors, so one wheel is just spinning, so that's why I lost traction. But then if you hit the brake pedal and you slow down that wheel that's driving, you'll actually automatically adjust the power to the other wheel that's not spinning at all. So then you can that's basically your diff lock there. You can slow down one wheel and it'll send the rest of the power over to the other wheel. We've done it with the 400, and I've done it with mine now. Because my brakes, I think, were still a little cold yet, but because I didn't really warm the hydraulics up on it, because the steering felt fine, it wasn't stiff, the clutch went in easy. You know, so I figured, well, I figured, the brakes are going to be a little stiff, but I don't know. They were a little slow to engage, but I figured, they're probably just a little cold yet. So, but they still eventually locked up, and they attempted to pull that bale with the two tires, but I don't know. It's just, I guess because I was so slow and the bales were so froze down, they didn't want to move. The tractor didn't stall out. I was just spinning, so. Plenty of power there, but I don't know how, because my tractor weighs like 11,000 pounds, and usually I can just play with these bales, like they're nothing. So I don't really know what's going on there. So, got a couple cats. So I don't really know what's going on there, but, yeah, so then I had to, I backed up a little bit, about maybe a couple feet or a foot. Put the son of a bitch in high, and dumped the clutch and took right off, and it yanked that bale right out of its little parking spot there. So, so I don't know, but you gotta do what you gotta do. I mean, you gotta feed these cows no matter what, no matter if it's ugly on how you move your bales. Gets the job done. That's really all that fucking matters. I know some dickwads are gonna probably come on here and be like, "Oh, you should get a bale spear or a bale mover for your tractor. Move bales that way." Yeah, that's in the works as well, but you know, they're like $400. You know, that's on my to-do list as well, is to get a 3-point bale spear, but I'd rather have a bale mover because they're better, but yeah. But they only make category 2s. They don't make category 3s, but I think you can adapt a category 2 to a category 3. I think you can just, I don't know if you can take out those pins and put bigger ones in, or if you have to put it like a spacer on. Because I think they make them both ways. So you can put the bigger pins in your attachment, and then it'll hook up fine. You got to get the category 3 pins. But then I think they also make adapters too. Basically, it's just like a spacer, and it takes up the slack. But I don't know. So, but yeah. So for now, the 1586 is running. We'll see how long it stays running, but it's supposed to be warmer tomorrow, and then it's supposed to kind of cool down a little bit, but not by much. It's supposed to still be in the lower 20s, which isn't bad, but I want to start seeing some 40s, you know. I'm done with this now. I'm ready for this to go bye-bye. This needs to go back up to Canada. We do have one slight problem, though, is we don't have quite enough snow, believe it or not. And I don't know what we're going to get for a flood, and I don't know what we're going to get for rainfall throughout the year. So I'm kind of already thinking that we're going to have short hay this year. You know, because the last 2 years we've had really good hay because we've had so much rain. But I'm thinking that, you know, lack of snow, now there might be a lack of rain, and then there's going to be less bales, and that's what kills us. The last 2 years have been fairly easy on us because we can actually buy hay later in the year now instead of buying hay so damn early. So that helps. But yeah, so update on the 15, it's running for now. So yeah, it's got to be a water issue. I guess another guy left a comment on that video, and he says that one is a water separator and the other one is just a fuel cleaner. I guess I thought they were both the same thing. They both just clean the fuel, but I guess apparently one is a water cleaner or a water separator, and the other one just filters out the junk from the fuel, which I guess does kind of make sense, I guess, in a way now, since I look at it. You know, if that's really how it is, that makes sense then, because I always kind of wonder, like, why do you need 2 fuel filters? Well, that's probably why, because one is just dedicated to being a water separator, and then the other one's a diesel fuel cleaner. So if that's how it is, that makes perfect sense then. But, yeah, never seen a reason why you need actual 2 fuel filters. You know, you don't. You just need one, really. So, but, yeah. So, yeah, for now, Dakota's running. It's running strong, which is surprising. So, I know AJ said he was thinking it was the fuel pump. He thinks the fuel pump was going out. But, no, you know what? I think it was just water. We had frozen water in it. What it probably was... Nope, don't come in here. You can't come in here. This is my place. Your place is over there. I got a cat over here. Yeah, go over there. So, what I think it was is maybe there's water in that water separator filter, and it froze. And then what happened, obviously, kind of like what he was saying, is it froze, and then it cut the fuel supply down a lot. So then the tractor wasn't getting the fuel that it needed to run, which would explain why it ran like shit. So, and then just eventually shut off. So, lack of fuel. So, that could be, because like I said, it's running fine now. I mean, I had it running for close to an hour, but I didn't want to stick around I just wanted to get those 2 bales. I wasn't really planning on moving bales. It's just I was going to let it run for an hour just to see if it would die again. And then my uncle comes over. He's like, well, hey, if this thing runs, do you want to pull a couple of bales and get them ready so then we can throw them out there when the time comes? And I was like, well, if it stays running long enough, yeah. Sure shit, it ran fine. And climbed up in the cab, gave it some throttle, revved up fine, put it in the gear, took off, didn't conk out, kept running. She ran like a true international. South Saskatchewan farmer still gives us IH guys a hard time though. He thinks John Deeres are better. Well, what do you think about your 2 damn John Deeres not starting? But you gotta remember too, it was minus 60 there. So he had it actually even worse than us. I think the closest we ever got was just about minus 50. It got just about that here. Not quite, but it was close. But yeah, it's just fucking bullshit. This is why you need to have your stuff in a building. You know, South Saskatchewan farmer, he's got a couple of buildings there. I don't know what the hell he's doing with them. I know one's his workshop, but he's got a couple off to the side there. I think they're just full of junk. We'll get that junk out and get a couple of small tractors in there. That little fucking 4020 he's got there, I think that would fit in there just fine. Shorten the muffler a little bit, and then it should fit in there just fine. It's better than nothing. It's better than it sitting outside, you know. But for us, we don't have another building. The 400 used to sit in a building, but that building wasn't the greatest in the first place, and it got wore out, and it's starting to cave in as well. So we just stopped parking the tractor in there. And then plus we bought that muffler for it, and it doesn't fit with the muffler on. So that's why many years ago the muffler was taken off, because it just never fitted in there with it on. So, but now since it sits outside, bought a brand new muffler for it because the old one rotted away. So we bought a new one and stuck it on. So yeah, a little update on Big Red. I did finally order a dipstick for it, and I ordered a gasket for it, I guess, or whatever. Because I don't know if it'll come with one or not. So, yeah. So I got one coming. He said it'll probably take about a week or so to get there. It's like, well, that's fine. I don't plan on coming for another couple of weeks anyway. So, but I forgot to look now, but the last couple of days I haven't really been noticing anything for leaks. So, but I think AJ was saying, I think it was him that was saying something about that. Well, he said that they didn't have a gasket between the head and the motor, but I think they do. I don't know. Maybe it just depends on what machines. Maybe the newer ones have, maybe the older ones didn't. I don't know. I don't know what the hell he was dealing with, but to me it looks like it has one. But it just looks like it's all wore out. But I don't know. I think he was saying something. I don't know. Maybe it was him that said it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me saying it. But I think he was saying something too that could have been somebody else too. I don't know. But somebody was saying that the change in the weather like this, it can hurt them, and it can cause leaks and stuff too. But yeah. Well, that's never nothing to do with Big Red, but where it's leaking now, that's a new place. It's never leaked there before. So that's why I was kind of concerned about it, because it was in a new place. The engine has leaked oil in past years. It has done that, but that's usually if I take off right away and don't let Big Red warm up. Then yeah, it'll leak some oil. But like I said, I stopped doing that because it was leaking oil. But now this time it was leaking. Seemed like pretty much if it would run and then you parked it, well, technically if you just ran it, it leaked oil. So, but I think now it stopped as well because it's so warm out now. So it might just be the fact that the block is opening and closing. You know, it's doing one of these stupid things. You know, it's always changing with the temperatures. It's shifting. So maybe that's just what it'll do when it's super. I mean, it really shouldn't. That's kind of a poor design in a motor if it leaks like that. But you also have to remember too, Big Red is now 10 years old. Everything's original. You know, things are going to start showing their age. You know, they're going to start showing through. So, I don't know. Like I said, I don't really want to get Big Red. I would like to keep Big Red for at least until 10,000 miles. We'll decide then what to do. But he's only got 6,000 miles, and I would like to shove it up to 10, but we'll see. But it probably wouldn't hurt to get another one anyway as a spare. Well, I'll probably end up driving a new one anyway more than Big Red because it's new. But I don't know. Wouldn't mind a Snowcat too, you know, but maybe in the future. Not now. Right now I'm kind of just. I'm in the Snowcats. Like I said, I wouldn't mind getting one, but it's just right now it's not within budget to do that. So. But it is what it is. But yeah, so I don't know. Like I said, I'm going to keep an eye on that oil leak, and if it keeps leaking, I'll probably check it before I even go in the house because I forgot to do it before making this video. So I'll have to check it again, and if I don't notice any fresh drips, well then I know it's obviously stopping. But it could be an issue too. I don't know. It will be an issue if it keeps doing that all winter long, and all summer long too. If it decides to keep hissing like that, then it's going to be an annoying problem. But what can you do about it? You know, I don't know. Only time will tell. I can't predict the future. So, but. Like I said, if it keeps being an issue, then yeah, it'll have to either be fixed, try to be fixed, or you just park it and move on, get a newer rig. But it is what it is. So, but yeah, so there we go. I guess whatever, do whatever you want with that information, I guess. But right now, the tractor's running. I don't know about the 400. We won't know until tomorrow, but. He wants to wait an extra day just to make sure. It's supposed to be cloudy tomorrow, but it's supposedly a little bit warmer. But, I don't know. If it doesn't start tomorrow, then he'll have to take the carburetor off. But, I think mine should stay running now since I've ran it and I've moved the fuel. The fuel has moved a little bit now. And with it being even just in the low 20s like it has, like it's going to be, really shouldn't have any issues. Not that I think of anyway. So I don't know. Just have to keep an eye on it, I guess, see what happens. But I think it'll stay running. But I'm not. I took my batteries out though. Obviously, I'm not going to leave them in there because I don't know. It's supposed to still get kind of cold at night. So. But then I took the covers off. There's really no sense of putting them on if it's going to be in the 20s like that. If it gets minus 20, then I'll put them back on. But you know, we're getting to that point now. It's getting to that time of the year now where we just really shouldn't be getting that cold. I mean, we could still get a day or two where it's in the minuses, but my God, this needs to end. Needs to end. I don't know. I'm tired of winter already. It was good there for a while, but yeah, you always get bitch slapped by something, you know. And we got bitch slapped with extreme cold, and then none of the tractors wanting to start. But if our tractors were in a building, we probably would have solved that issue. But buildings are expensive as well, so. But. Whatever. But anyways, guys, I guess that's pretty much it. Not really much else to talk about because that's really all I want to talk about. Is just to let you guys know. I'm still going to get a couple of new fuel filters, change them out, and then maybe that'll solve some of the issues with water in the fuel. And because that's got to be the problem, lack of fuel, because there was probably water in the fuel and then it froze. and then the fuel couldn't flow through. Well, there goes a yellow Jeep. I have never seen a yellow Jeep before. I've seen a yellow Hummer, but never a yellow Jeep. I've seen plenty of Jeeps, but just never a yellow one. But why would you want a yellow one? Are you trying to act like an H2 person? Like a Hummer person? Like, I don't know. Go get a damn Hummer then. They're still out there. But anyways, guys, I'm going to take off. I'm not going to bother your time anymore. Yeah, I just want to let you guys know what's going on. Tractors are, well, my tractor's running anyway. And then, yeah, so. Whatever. Anyways, guys, I guess I'm going to take off. So I guess have a good day and stuff. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.